Wow, the hair's a little bit wild today. Can you see that? It's all foopy doodle. Anyway, good morning. Happy Thursday. I don't normally make political videos. This is a venting video. Just so that everybody is aware, my political party is the long fall with a short rope for all politicians party. Republicans and Democrats are fungible. They are all completely non-responsive to the voters. You have the illusion of rights. You're a pay piggy. You are a wage slave. The gross amount of taxes that you pay, state, local, federal, every year, is only a minuscule amount of the actual taxes that you pay. There's the ever increasing inflation tax, i.e. the money you earn is worth less because portions of that money have been siphoned away. The value of that money has been siphoned away. Now we have tariffs. Tariffs on a bunch of other countries. Who pays those tariffs? You pay those tariffs. The cost of foreign goods being imported in the U.S. increased by 35%. The corporation isn't going to eat that. They pass along that cost to the taxpayer, to the purchaser, which is you. So they collect the money that they pay in tariff taxes to the government from you, the consumer. Congratulations. You are getting squeezed out of more and more and more of your money. Which is weird in a time where costs of everything are ever increasing, that they would want to take more money from the U.S. taxpayer, from the U.S. citizens. I mean, the fun thing about tariffs is that everybody pays them. Poor, rich, well, I mean, maybe not rich people. They probably have loopholes for a lot of things, and I'm talking about the really rich people. But everybody pays the tariff taxes. Everybody pays the inflation tax. Whether you're poor or rich, your money is getting devalued every day. Everybody pays it. You may or may not pay income tax. I pay fucking shit ton of income taxes. I'm a W-2 employee. I'm a 1099 employee. And I have my own firm. I pay a shit ton of taxes. I mean, I work hard. I work probably an average of 12 hours a day. I work hard, and I pay a shit ton of taxes. This isn't a tax rant, though, because this is the only way that I can find to understand the U.S. federal government, and by U.S. federal government, I don't mean the U.S. federal government. I mean the only way you can understand the government, and by the government, I mean state, federal, local. I mean the corporations that control the federal government. I mean AIPAC, all the political action committees that control the government, the bureaucracies that control the government, the bureaucracies inside the government that control the government, foreign nations that control the government, like Israel. I mean, all of those, the only way you can understand that conglomeration of power is that they hate you, they want you to die. That's the only way it seems that I can make any sense of all of the things that they do. At the same time, like whatever your position on Medicaid, whatever your position on food stamps is, that money goes to Americans, U.S. citizens, generally speaking. Hashtag not all. At the same time, we're cutting programs for Americans. We are increasing spending on foreign countries. Why do we have 800 bases around the world? Why were we funding Hamas, ISIS, Israel, Ukraine? Like name a conflict out there and find a spot where we're not actually funding all the sides of it. Do me that favor. Explain to me, like I'm a 5-year-old, why it's in my best interest to spend trillions of dollars on foreign countries every year when our debt is $37 trillion. when I work half the year or more to pay taxes. Just the physical state, federal, local property sales. Half the year or more I spend on taxes. I write big checks to the government, and where does that money go? Doesn't go to fixing my roads, I guarantee you that. It doesn't go to better schools. It doesn't go to getting care for the homeless people on the street, getting them mental health care. It doesn't go towards improving the cities. Where does it go? Where does it go? Overseas. It goes to corporations, massive corporations. Oh, trickle down economics. Yeah, okay. Show me when that works. The big corporations make a ton of money. They bring in H-1B visas when Americans aren't working to do jobs that they won't give to Americans because they can import foreign labor to do it for less. And then the foreign labor sends the money home. It's just everything that happens just extracts wealth from the American people and sends it overseas. Are you against Israel, John? No. I'm not against him. I'm not for him. Are you against Hamas? No, I'm not against him. I'm not for him. I don't care. Like, go murder yourselves in some other side of the world. That's not my problem. And if you can't explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old why it's my problem, well, then you don't know. And you can't know because the government doesn't have to tell you. The government doesn't tell you shit. They'll say things like, oh, it's in America's national interest. We have national security interests in there. You know, this is a threat to peace and security in the region. And if we don't step in, then there's going to be increases in costs to American consumers. And like, well, run that by me. Show me the math. No, it doesn't happen. The only way our country makes sense is if you look at it like the government, being that conglomeration of power, wants you dead. They hate you and they want you dead. Our food is poisonous. You're going to say, oh, John, that's a conspiracy theory. Sure. I have family members who can't eat bread products in the U.S., but they can go to France and eat bread products. No issues. Why are there no issues in France? Why does the European Union and like Canada, why do they ban additives that the U.S. doesn't? Because the U.S. government, that conglomeration of power, hates you and wants you dead. Why can pharmaceutical companies pump out pills or vaccines or other stuff that causes you damage? And why are they immune to lawsuits? Why are banks allowed to extract tremendous amounts of profit from the U.S. citizens and then have the U.S. citizens bail them out if there's an issue? Explain that to me. Why do we bail out banks? Why? Our fiscal policies are nonsense. They give you chump change. Tax breaks. Where do the tax breaks go? Every freaking time. Tax breaks go to these major multinational corporations, these giant power bases that have purchased senators, who've purchased lawyers to draft the legislation that the congressmen and senators don't even read before they pass it, and the benefits go to those top corporations, the top 1%. You don't see it. I don't see it. I work my ass off. I don't see it. I represent clients who don't see it. Like, in being a first-year family law attorney, a lot of my time is spent looking at incomes and bank statements and credit card statements, and people are strapped. Like, people are losing their asses out here. Houses are sitting on the market unsold. I mean, I can't tell you. I have probably 3 cases right now, 3 family law cases, where the parties have their houses up for sale and nobody's buying them. The housing market's dead. Why is the housing market dead? Because interest rates are up. Why are interest rates up? Because our debt is fucking massive. And the U.S. credit's been downgraded by all three credit agencies. I mean, we're no longer, people are noticing that, hey, the U.S. is spending way more. I heard yesterday that our national debt is increasing by $1 trillion every 5 months. Every 5 months, $1 trillion. Like, you can't comprehend $1 trillion. I can't comprehend $1 trillion. That's just, we have no mental reference for it. I mean, mathematically, we could write it out, but like, you have no mental reference for what $1 trillion looks like. It's absurd. It's insane. But we have plenty of money to send 3 aircraft carrier groups to Israel. I mean, and this isn't even counted in foreign aid to Israel. This is just Americans spending American money. You know, the aircraft carrier groups, they cost money to get underway. You know, they require resupply and all sorts of things. There's people on those ships that are getting paid to be out there, et cetera, et cetera. We had to fly American planes shooting American missiles to shoot down Iranian drones during the 12-day war and Iranian missiles. None of that counted. We flew intelligence planes 24 hours a day during that to give intelligence to the carrier groups and to Israel during that war. That was paid for by you. The Moab bombs that we dropped, the mission to go over there. I mean, those Moab bombs aren't inexpensive. I mean, just like, I forget the exact number, but I think like the THAAD missile systems, THAD, something high altitude, something like they're the missiles that shoot down the ballistic missiles, or allegedly shoot down the ballistic missiles. Those are like $4 million a pop. Just the interceptor missiles are $4 million a pop. Who knows how much the other missiles are? I mean, like, I think Patriot's a couple $1 million each, somewhere in there. I mean, like, and we're shooting them off like they're fucking chump change. We've given hundreds or thousands of these missiles and the systems that launch them and the radars and all sorts of things to Ukraine for nothing. Like, what do we care? Like, no one can explain to me, like I'm a 5-year-old, why we care. I get nonsense about, oh, Putin wants to take over Europe. Well, great. Like, let me know when I fucking care about that too, right? You know, okay, all of a sudden after ruling in Russia for like 30 years or some shit, all of a sudden now, today, he wants to take over Europe. Okay, whatever. I mean, I get it. The propaganda machine just churns it out left, right, and center. And I was a slave to that propaganda machine for a long time. You know, but thank God for the internet. Thank God for being able to get information from all sorts of different sources and, you know, using the sniff test to see like what passes muster. It's just insane. It's just insane. But the government hates you. Like, you don't matter. You think your vote matters. I watched a clip of all sorts of different town hall meetings. I guess Congress and the Senate are on break. God bless them for getting a break. They need it working so hard, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, they were doing town hall meetings, apparently, all across the country. Congressmen and senators were going in their districts and having town hall meetings. And overwhelmingly, at least from this clip, the town halls were completely anti-Israel, pro-Gaza, or at least as far as this war is concerned. You know, they wanted, the people were very vocal in these town hall meetings, like, stop funding Israel, stop funding the war against Gaza, stop funding the genocide. Over and over they said it. And I don't care what side of the aisle you're on this. Every single one of those congressmen and senators were like, yeah, well, you know, we got to support Israel. Fuck your opinion. Public opinion polls. Americans are overwhelmingly against supporting this war in Israel. Americans are against sending more money to Ukraine. And what do? Americans were overwhelmingly against getting involved in the 12-day war. But what do? Your opinion doesn't matter. All I can glean from that is that your vote doesn't matter. You may think your vote matters. On paper, your vote may matter, but let's stop and consider, shall we? The candidates that run are all vetted. The candidates that run, I mean, you don't get a choice of what candidates run. You get to pick from these two flavors of ice cream. And guess what? They're the same flavor. One, it just has blue food dye in it. The other one has red food dye in it. Both give you cancer. Congratulations. I mean, like, the most bipartisan issue ever is Israel. You look at the U.S., the U.S. is really strongly, like, I mean, less than 50% of people. But let's just say the U.S. is 50-50 split. Let's just say the polls I've seen are all garbage and that the U.S. is 50-50 split on the Israel-Gaza issue, right? Let's just say that. Look at the House and Senate. I can think of two members of Congress, the legislature, that are against it. Two. I mean, maybe there's a handful more, but there's like, what, 500-ish people in the House and Senate? You would think about 250 of them, roughly, would be against it, and 250 roughly would be for it. But no, it's like everybody's for it. Everybody's for it. Explain that to me. Explain how an issue can be so fundamental to Americans and completely disregarded by our elected officials if they were actually responsive to the voter, if your vote mattered. Explain it to me. Like I'm a 5-year-old. I don't understand it. I think I'm a relatively intelligent person, but I don't understand it. The only thing that makes sense is they hate you and they want you to die. So I've ranted long enough about that, but let me offer you this. Let me offer you this. I have seen a lot of people upset about all of this, upset about the non-responsiveness of our government. Oh, and by the way, rights. Let me just circle back to that. The only way you can enforce a right in the U.S. is by appealing to the government for the government to enforce that right. You say, I have a right to free speech. The government says, oh, wait, you can't criticize Israel. The only way you can enforce your right to criticize Israel is to go to the judiciary and say, hey, this branch of government, I want you to protect me from that branch of government. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. But you know, and I know, we all know that judges, especially on political issues like that, are partisan. That's why they say who they were nominated by. You know, this judge was nominated by George W. Bush. This judge was nominated by Barack Obama. This judge was nominated by Trump. This judge was nominated by Biden. There's a reason they tell you that. It's because in a political issue, a judge is going to exercise their political proclivities. That's why the Supreme Court is such a big deal. Oh, we've got, 5 conservatives versus 4 liberals, which, I mean, those labels are just meaningless. I mean, they're just trying to figure out different ways to fuck you out of the same things. But that's why it matters. For political issues, you're going to get a political outcome, even from the judiciary. So all of the people I have seen talking about this have all said, we want nonviolent. Nonviolent means of fixing this situation. Nonviolent. I would challenge you to show me a time in history where nonviolent means have upended a government that is this unresponsive to the people. Show me. Nonviolent protests get put down violently. I can think of situations where, let's say, a group of colonialists used nonviolent means to unshackle themselves from what they saw were the reigns of tyranny. Do with that as you will. Thanks for watching. Sorry for being a Debbie Downer. Have a great day.